frying. Allow the meat stock to dry because the afang soup does not need water. So now I will take the water leaf and fry it and then mix and the farmer because the water leaf consists a lot of water.
Yes.
And the soup does not require, it's not a watery soup, yes.
Hello and welcome. It's time for another interesting package of
Everything Music.
Angelina, you dey cool in my temperature. If you call, I go come deliver.
This is Talking Movies.
In times of old, the world was full of wonder.
Stop it! Welcoming you to your weekend for today.
Arise, oh compatriots. It's time to use our voice.
Beyond 6 Packs.
Bills.
Pay the bills. Keep paying my telephone bills. Pay my bills.
Welcome to Gallery.
Me and my paddies.
London for what?
London for medicine.
Medicine for what?
Medicine for coffee.
Are you sickness?
To our illness. Welcome to Gist Zone.
All right, my name is the Eselucien Wego One. Ona nyokoko nyonyo.
Hello, and welcome to Strictly Speaking. Language is the essence of our existence. It's what sets us apart from the rest of creation, and it's what unites humanity.
It has changed greatly because social media has influenced the use of English language in terms of writing and speaking.
When you talk about performance, you then talk about your style. When you talk about your style, you start to look at the authentic you.
Whatever field you are in, you are a creative. And when you realize that, you will work better and have better results.
It's the expression of who we are and a suggestion of what we can become. Welcome to Strictly Speaking. I'm Bimbo Oluyede.
Abuja, the place that unites Nigeria.
Governments at all levels are taking various measures to ensure people are vaccinated against COVID-19 pandemic. What is the situation in Sokoto? These and more will be our focus on Panorama, coming to you from Sokoto Network Center. I am Sadia Umrediki. President Muhammadu Buhari is in Istanbul, Turkey, ahead of the third Turkey-Africa Partnership Summit. State House correspondent Adamu Sambu reports that the summit is organized by President Recep Tayyip Erdogan to deepen relations between the Republic of Turkey and African continent.
On hand to receive the Nigerian leader on arrival at Istanbul International Airport was a high-powered Turkish government delegation and Nigeria's ambassador to Turkey, Ismaila Yusuf Abba. Also at the airport include Ministers of Foreign Affairs, Defense, Agriculture, Health, FCT, Trade and Investment, the National Security Advisor, and other senior government officials. The Turkey-Africa Partnership Summit, to be held on Saturday, has as a theme enhanced partnership for common development and prosperity. Amongst other things, participants are expected to review the cooperation between African countries and Turkey since the last summit in 2014, as well as provide guidelines and direction for a more win-win situation in the next 5 years.
We're here to share, to be part of development, to be part of prosperity that has prevailed here and is being shared. Nearly 50 African countries have embassies here. So we are intending that there will be intense bilaterals, discussions between our two countries. We're looking to concretizing partnerships, agreements, and MOUs with regards to matters in education, in investment, in health, in development of our federal capital city. There's a huge Turkish interest in bringing modern hospitals, schools, hotels and conferencing centers and all of that.
The third Turkey-Africa Partnership Summit is coming on the heels of President Erdogan's recent visit to Nigeria, during which several agreements were signed to deepen and expand relations between the two countries.
When he came, Turkish President Erdogan had shown a lot of interest in getting to support Nigeria in dealing with insurgency and banditry and the situation of insecurity in which we have found ourselves. Now, don't forget that Turkey has suddenly emerged as a significant military power all over the world. Look at their intervention in Azerbaijan against Armenia. Turkey has done a lot in ending the ISIL, menace of Libya, of Iraq and Syria. As a matter of fact, the relative stability that is today present in Libya is owed to Turkey. So they have shown interest. And I don't want to say how much or how far this will go. But in the President's delegation, we have our Minister of Defense, we have the National Security Advisor, we have the Director General of the National Intelligence Agency. We are expecting a lot from this.
The Turkish leader had also affirmed his commitment to increase the volume of trade between Nigeria and Turkey to $5 billion. From Istanbul, Turkey, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari marks the age of 79 today, Friday 17th, without the joy of being with the family and the country he governs, seeking to maximize bilateral benefits in critical areas of Nigeria's safety, survival, and economic development in a distant country, Turkey. Senior Special Advisor on Media and Publicity highlights the achievements and challenges the president has had in stewardship of the nation.
All the countries of the globe, the coronavirus pandemic has thrown the biggest challenge to the Buhari administration, for the obvious reason that it kept under attack not only the health of citizens, but the economy and environment. For a country and a continent designated for a world record of positive cases and deaths, yet turning in the lowest in terms of numbers. While divine intervention is advanced by many as the reason, the senior special assistant to the president says the Almighty uses the instrumentality of humans to get some of these things done. And in the last 2 years, the Buhari government that believes in science and in Nigerian doctors put in place an effective mechanism to check the spread of the pandemic, and the country is where it is today because a dedicated team has responded in the most capable manner any country could ever do. The president gave the experts the latitude of freedom and resources to lead Nigeria out of the worst-case scenarios, using especially well-thought-out non-pharmaceutical protections, and these in the face of the denial of fair access to vaccines by those who make them have really done the wonders. Although high figures for active cases, new cases, and deaths are rising lately, and a fourth wave is being feared in many quarters, the proven competence of Nigerian administrators, whose aptitude, agility, and appropriate sense of timing have drawn commendation from the United Nations, giving the citizens a reassuring solace that Nigeria will wade through the muddle by getting it right. Increasing awareness about health and hygiene is helping the country fight the deadly coronavirus disease, just as the campaign against open defecation is catching on in all the states. Garba Shehu noted that President Buhari was handed an economy in 2015 just on the verge of a recession. It was sluggish due to internal as well as external factors, compounded by the fall of oil prices occasioned by global recession. But the new administration pulled the economy out of recession in less than 2 years. A short-lived feat, as the COVID-19 pandemic again added to the global economic woes, leading to another recession, just like any other country did. Yet again, careful handling and management helped Nigeria to exit a second recession in 6 months, setting an unbeaten record on how not to suffer a recession. The current and projected economic growth figures are quite encouraging, and if government measures being worked out to curb the existing high food inflation work well as they should, unemployment figures, which are officially at 34%, are being forced downwards through growth, especially in agriculture, which President Buhari saw as the silver lining from the very beginning. The economy will continue to recover. Today, the economy is back on the path of growth after 2 consecutive recessions, and it is noteworthy that the administration's priority sectors, especially ICT, agriculture, and solid minerals, continue to lead the growth of the now diversified economy. Inflation has maintained a downward streak, and external reserves have stayed on healthy levels throughout these periods. Exports have grown and have remained in an upward trajectory in agriculture, raw materials, solid minerals, and manufactured goods, setting a clear tone that Nigeria is ready for a leading role in the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, AfCFTA. Agricultural growth could be attributed to bumper harvest in rice and other agricultural commodities, which have been aggressively promoted by the lending schemes put in place by the Central Bank of Nigeria and other commercial banks. The revival of the fertilizer industry, which has seen such production plants grow from only 4 in 2015 to nearly 40 at the moment, employing thousands directly and indirectly and saving the country $200 billion in import bills and more than 60 billion naira in government subsidies. However, smuggling across the country's vast land borders still remains a dark spot amid the ray of hope for total national food security. President Buhari's government has been challenged by the worrisome activities of bandits, now classified as terrorists, and the incidents of attacks on communities, especially that which pitches farmers against herders. Both have had a combined effect of distributing the nation's social fabric. The government has a two-pronged strategy in dealing with the clashes. One, by addressing immediate security and then dealing with scarcity of land. Additional police and military units have been deployed to the affected states to address the former. They have already had some noticeable successes against militia groups. The National Livestock Transformation Plan remedies this through a phased transition from herding to ranching. Boko Haram, which is now reduced to a shell of its former self, now holds no territory and not a single militant incident has been recorded for years in the Niger Delta. Of course, there is still more to do, but the president's determination to end all the conflicts to keep citizens safe is worthy of note. It has also succeeded in abolishing grand corruption at the top and has attested by the former American President Donald Trump when the president visited him in 2016 that the government has significantly brought down the level of corruption in the whole country. It is, however, not lost on anyone that corruption is fighting back. In this country, politics is often considered as a synonym of corruption. Perhaps the greatest game changer in the war against corruption is the institution of those measures that seek to stop such incidents from happening. These include the biggest tax revolution since independence, VAT, which many rich citizens are made to pay outstanding taxes, the Integrated Payroll and Personal Information System IPPIS that has saved the nation billions of naira paid to ghost workers, the Treasury Single Account TSA and the Open Treasury Portal tell the citizens where their money is and how it is being spent. There is also the whistleblower policy by which the government is able to recover stolen or concealed assets through information provided by citizens. This has changed the moral tone of the business transactional space in the country. The whistleblower is entitled between 2.5% to 5.0% of the amount recovered. The government's moves on ease of doing business have attracted international attention and investment and significantly improved the ranking of Nigeria as a place of doing business. In fact, achieving a place in the World Bank's top 10 performing economies. In the last 6.5 years, President Buhari has taken historic decisions which have changed the country, top among which are his signing into law the Companies and Allied Matters Act (CAMA), enthusing Nigerian business community, the Climate Change Law, and the Petroleum Industry Act (PIA). Yet another jinx broken was the very recent decision for an out-of-court settlement of the dispute involving a businessman and the government of Nigeria that had prevented the takeoff of the Mambila hydroelectric power project, a development that may see it leave the drawing boards after nearly 50 years. On the external front, President Buhari's towering figure as an honest leader and an international statesman continues to generate a successful run in Nigeria's foreign relations. The senior special assistant to the president says what the president has achieved in the past 6.5 years is for the nation and its people, and that sooner than later, the frustrations Nigerians face are challenges to be overcome, and the period will one day be written as the golden period of Nigeria's history. Muplang Dakok, NTA News.
Nuplang. President of the Senate Ahmad Lawan has felicitated with President Muhammadu Buhari on the 79th birthday. In a statement by the Special Advisor to the President of the Senate on Media and Publicity, Ola Awoni, Senator Lawal acknowledged Buhari's purposeful leadership, vision, courage, commitment to the unity and security of Nigeria, and steadfastness in the pursuit of the right course and common good. Senator Lawal noted that the benevolence of Allah has enabled the president to continue to provide purposeful leadership to the country in this time of unprecedented challenges across the world. He said the National Assembly will continue to work with the president in line with their shared vision and in the best interest of our nation. House of Representatives Femi Gbajabiamila has rejoiced with President Muhammadu Buhari on his 79th birthday. Gbajabiamila said the Nigerian leader has done great things for Nigeria since he came to power in 2015, noting that such a man should be celebrated by all well-meaning Nigerians on his birthday. The Speaker lauded President Buhari for putting Nigeria first before any other consideration. He said at 79, President Buhari has achieved a lot both as an individual and as a leader with uncommon character and integrity. Gbajabiamila said he believed the president will do a lot more for the country in the remaining period of his administration. The federal government's effort to end misconception around COVID-19 vaccination has received a boost, with the Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Saad Abubakar, promising support of northern traditional leaders to strengthen the campaign and get more Nigerians vaccinated. This was at the fourth quarter review meeting of Northern Traditional Leaders Commitment in Abuja. Oluse Adiogo has details.
Presidents of Nigeria by the end of January 2022 was the federal government's target, with sufficient vaccines to cover this mission. Yet the country has only administered the jab to less than 9 million Nigerians with the first dose of COVID-19 vaccine. Debunking the recent news evolving around him on the internet, the Sultan of Sokoto linked the problem of vaccine hesitancy to misconceptions and fake news.
Because we really want to go all out to convince people about the COVID-19 pandemic and how to tackle it. We need to be much, much stronger than we were as we were fighting polio.
Vaccines are now available. It is now a question of people identifying where is the nearest place where they can actually get these vaccines. We believe that we'll be able to meet all of the targets that we've set as long as people also take the opportunity, realizing that we have now vaccinated over 8 million Nigerians. Nobody died from COVID-19 vaccination. 8 million Nigerians cannot be wrong.
This Northern Traditional Leaders Committee will also be using this meeting to review their engagement in improving primary health care in Nigeria in the outgoing year 2021 and charting a new course going into the new year. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA News.
Rama continues in a moment. Don't go away.
The vaccine offers hope for a safe country free of coronavirus. I urge all state governments, traditional and religious leaders to take the lead in the mobilization effort within their environment and spheres of influence. I similarly urge all eligible Nigerians to present themselves and be vaccinated in accordance with the order of priority already mapped out at the various authorized designated centers only.
Come back. Sokoto State is one of the states that recorded low cases of COVID-19, as the state has 810 cases. What is the secret? With me in the studio to discuss the issue is the Director of Public Health, Dr. Abdurrahman Ahmad, Sokoto State Minister of Health. Saya, welcome to the studio.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.
So, sir, why is the state having low cases of COVID-19?
As you know, COVID-19 is a new disease that the world is battling with. We have done a number of things that contributed to the low coverage that we are having. First, before all, when we started having the cases in the state, we go out of our way. Instead of only waiting for symptomatic patients to be tracked, once we have a positive case, all his contacts, we trace them. All his contacts or her contact, we take their samples. And that is why Sokoto State, that time, April last year, we had a surge of cases within a short period of time. Go on the COVID-19 itself, what causes it, what are the preventive measures, and all that. So with that in mind and with those measures, we are able to curb the spread of the COVID-19 in the state. And up to now, we still maintain the same principle. If we have a COVID-19 positive case, we don't wait for his contact to develop symptoms before we track them, before we get them tested. We test them, and if they are positive, we institute necessary measures, including the isolation, whether at home or in the health facility, and we give them necessary medicaments that are recommended for use in COVID-19. We still review the situation periodically and see whatever need to be adjusted, we adjust as appropriate.
So what are some of the measures put in place by the state government to ensure vaccination?
Yeah. The measures we put in place to ensure vaccination for COVID-19 is to ensure that in all the local government of the state, there is vaccination site, which is well publicized. We use the traditional immunization site, like all the LGAs have MPI office, which is National Program for Immunization Office, previously known. So we use them as the destination centers for keeping the COVID-19 vaccine. And those are the places that wherever you come from the LGA, you can get the vaccines there. So we publicize them, and we continue using the traditional institution, the religious institution, the community structures around, like the VCM network, the Intervention by Breakthrough Action Nigeria, the network of Rotary International, the Plan International also have a structure called Community-Based Health Volunteers in the state. So amidst the World Development Committee, Village Development Committees, who we train severally, through the Sokoto State government funds and then through the support of UNICEF. And also, all these things do a lot in mobilization. Of course, it's not without having challenges of misconception and the myth that went around and still...
Yes, I was going to ask you about what is the response so far about vaccination?
Honestly, in recent time, we are seeing the difference, because before it is hard to convince people to get vaccinated, even among the elite. Government. His Excellency is the Executive Governor of Sokoto State is a true believer of science and reality. So when COVID comes, he so much believes in it, and he's among the first people to get vaccinated, because when we launched it, he wasn't in the state, but the Commissioner of Health was the first person to get vaccinated with COVID vaccine in the state. So that gave avenue for people to have that trust that yes, COVID vaccine is real. Yeah, so COVID vaccine is real, and that push for people to take the vaccine.
So how many people have been vaccinated so far?
So far in Sokoto, both first and second dose were vaccinated 126,000. Yeah, all for both Moderna, AstraZeneca, first dose and second dose.
Okay. So what's the sanction imposed by the state government for those that refuse the vaccination?
Sokoto state government, Sokoto state is part of Nigeria, so whatever measure taken by federal government is what the state government is adopting.
All right. Sir, thank you very much for coming on Panorama this afternoon.
Thank you very much.
So that's our discussion with Dr. Abdurrahman Ahmad, Director of Public Health, Sokoto State Ministry of Health. We now join our sports desk for sports updates.
Sports Minister Sunday Dare has been honored in his home state with an award of excellence by the Sports Writers Association of Nigeria, Oyo State Chapter. The minister received the award at the semi-finals of Oyo Swan 5-a-side football tournament from Niyi Alebioshu, chairman of the chapter. The body commended the minister in ensuring the renovations of key federal government-owned stadia across the country. Nigeria's Olympic family is repositioning to achieve more for the nation's sports sector. Stakeholders at the one-day annual general meeting of the Nigerian Olympic Committee in Yenagoa, Bayelsa State, pledged to sustain efforts at growth and development of the industry for the good of the nation. In volleyball, action will resume in the day 6 of the 2021 Nigeria Volleyball Premier League second phase Saturday, as Friday is observed as rest day. In the men's fixture, Nigeria Immigration will be up against Correctional Service. NSCDC battles Chief of Army Spikers. Nigeria Police Force and Sunshine Stars will lock on with each other, while USMVC will face the superior power of Nigerian Customs Service as Kano Pillars face Ofa VC. Benue Queens and NSCDC will be up against each other, while Kada Emerald settles scores with Nigerian Immigration in the women's fixture. To football, Steven Gerrard-led Aston Villa will welcome 18th place Burnley to Villa Park in the match day 18 of the English Premier League Saturday, while Arsenal will travel to Elland Road to face 16th place Leeds United. Some matches are postponed due to the adverse effect of COVID-19 on players. With sports updates, Olalekan Kilajolu, NTA News.
That is Panorama this afternoon. Remember to be a star. Connect with NTA. Stand against rape and rapists. Good afternoon.